when I read these reports, so I had to go back again. Maybe my memory did not serve me well, so I had to go back again to the results. I was showing a friend just 10 minutes ago the graphics and everything. I don't know what inspired or what is propelling his optimism and where he got his intel from that, we are still at the appeal level now. It has not even gotten to the Supreme Court. But ultimately, he's telling people that, look, especially the obedience, that we should be gearing up for a possible rerun. What might be the worst case scenario? 180 days is almost gone, so we expect the appeal to actually, any moment from now, give their verdict, and let's say it is appealed at the Supreme Court, another 60 days. So we'll get to know who actually won the February 25th presidential election. But Abure is telling that from all what he can get from the All Progressive Congress, I don't know how he got his feelers.
Well, it's difficult to place Julius Abure as an individual. He's a man speaking from both sides of his small mouth. He said they are confident that the court will declare Peter Obi the winner. In the same breath, in another breath, he's saying, APC is getting ready for a rerun. Therefore, let us mobilize our people to prepare for a rerun so that they can humiliate the APC once again. You know what I see that is going on? It's just mind games. Jose Mourinho, the man who brought Chelsea from the brink, from the cesspit of soccer history, and won the league in England for them back to back after more than 50 years. He's a man that the whole world knows likes to play mind games. Abure is the political version of Jose Mourinho when it comes to playing mind games. They are trying to shoehorn the Supreme Court, the appeal court, that they also call presidential election petition court. That is, calling them by that name is even new. It's always appeal court. We know it's appeal court. I tried to shoehorn the appeal court to give a verdict that favors them. And the court has warned that political parties should be wary of what they are saying. You come to court after a sitting and it rains, and a lawyer stands before people and says, showers of blessings. It portends a good omen. It means we are going to win this court and win this case. You are going to win on the strength of the evidence that you bring before the court, not on the basis of, say, rain fell. How many times does it rain in a day? If you must interpret what's going to happen in court using the weather as the fulcrum of your argument, I don't know how can I explain what you are doing. This, in my view, is just an attempt to get into the heads of those judges. And those judges have warned. There's a limit to which you can even rationalize what's going on in the court, talk about what's going on in the court. Because judges don't want a situation in which you are trying to influence them and preempt their decision. You've had your day in court. Leave the court to decide the way it pleases. When you go before a court of law, you are depositing your confidence in it before it. So you don't have to say things that suggest that you are trying to twist them.
Outcome.
Yeah. Remember what the man who couldn't win his polling unit in Zaria too did the other day, threatening judges. If you try to swear in someone, the man they succeeded in swearing that man and nothing happened. No be not today. No be today now. So let's do what is right. I don't know where this optimism comes from. It will actually be a first in our country if what Abure is saying will happen, to move from third position in the presidential election, to move from third position, because I know people will argue that something like that happened in Igbo, where someone came from fourth position to become number one. But in a presidential election petition, we've never had a situation in which somebody moved from third position to number one. It will be really, really novel. I'm not preempting what the court will do, but it will be really, really surreal for that to happen. But at this stage, we can't say, oh, it can't happen, this and that. We are saying that it has never happened before. We don't know what the judges will do. And I want to believe that party leaders, whether they are in APC or PDP or Labour, as represented by Abure, should allow the court to decide. Don't place options in front, because this is what I see happening. Oh, in one breath you said you are confident that you won the election, you are confident that based on the facts that you presented before the court, that you are confident that they will declare your candidate winner. In another breath you said you are talking about Iran and you are telling Nigerians to prepare for Iran.
So today, how do we now decide if in the worst case scenario there's a rerun? I checked the figures, 12 states, all the candidates, and the figures, 8 million, 6.9 million, and 6.1 million. And how do we now say, look,
well, I think
the runner-up and the first position?
I think, like he said, it has never happened anywhere in the world where you will be a judge in your own case. It is not logical. When you surrender yourself, the moment you appear before a panel of judges, you have surrendered all your evidences before them, and you allow them to hear from both sides and make up their mind as to who is right or wrong. As to the issue of coming from behind, what it means is that they are also calling for the cancellation of the law. They don't have any confidence in the law. Because if that one is the case, then all the 7 senators are one of the platform of the Labour Party. On that very day, on which the presidential election held, they will lose their seat. Most of the House of Representatives, because it means there is no confidence. If they should cancel that election, it means there is no confidence in the process that produce senators for AP, House of Rep, and some other things. And it also means that all the states that you have claimed to have won, besides all the 5 statistics, because they are not contesting that this is the first era in the history of Nigeria since 1960 where a party will score 93% in some states. Even during Awolowo and Balewa, they didn't score more than 82%. So they scored 93% Imo, Anambra, all these states. So you don't touch that. But what it means is that they're just playing my game. And secondly, like you said,
welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25, 2023. In the video you watched is a program of the crew of journalists Hangout, which is a major program on TVC, a television station that is owned by Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the topic of discussion was the press statement released by the national chairman of Labour Party, Barrister Abure, where he talked about the fact that he had intel that the ruling All Progressive Congress that they are challenging in the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, that they are already planning for a rerun of the 2023 presidential election, and that the Labour Party supporters and Nigerians should get ready if he gets to that. But in the analysis, which was done by Babajide Otitoju and Tunde Abatan, these are senior journalists. There was so much misrepresentation of facts, so much misrepresentation of what the Labour Party national chairman actually said in his statement, which I read and I have done a video on it the day it was released. And you can see Babajide Otitoju saying that Abure was speaking from both sides of his mouth. Abure was not speaking from both sides of his mouth. I don't know how Babajide Otitoju interpreted what Abure said in that statement. Now, Babajide gave the impression that Abure said that they are confident that the court will declare Peter Obi the winner. That is not what the man said. What the man wrote was that with the evidence they have presented in court, they are confident that they have a good case. Okay, that they have a good case. But they have information that the APC is planning a rerun. And he now said that if he gets to rerun, that the Labour Party supporters should be get ready. And he was speaking with supporters of Labour Party in the diaspora. Okay, and he said they should get ready because they will need their support in case there is a rerun. And he also put a caveat there. He said, rerun is not what we are looking for. We are not interested in rerun. Rerun is an agenda. If you read that statement, it said, rerun is the agenda of APC. That is not what we want. What we want, according to him, is for the courts to declare Peter Obi the winner of the election. For Peter Obi to be declared the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is what they were demanding in court. That was their prayer. They are not praying for a rerun election. But what they are saying, what Abure said, was that in case he gets to this sinister plot of APC, of a rerun, supposing the court didn't look at the merits of Peter Obi's case and didn't declare him the winner, and the court looked in the direction of APC and said that there should be a rerun. I have already done a video where I believe that if the courts annul the election, that I doubt strongly if Tinubu will qualify to participate. Okay, so the Abure statement was very clear, very factual. There was no way, there's no ambiguity in it. So the idea that he was speaking from both sides of the mouth was not true. It's not true. It's not true. He was very clear. There is lucidity of the flow of the statement. What will happen in case they didn't declare Peter Obi the winner, and then it goes the way of APC that he learned through intelligence that they are already planning for a rerun. Even before Abure said that statement, I have heard things like that the APC is already planning for a rerun. But as I said earlier, I have done a video where I said that I was able to show that Tinubu will not be qualified to participate in a rerun if he is found guilty in respect of disqualification. Because if he is disqualified, he can't participate. If he is disqualified on the grounds that he forfeited $460,000 proceeds of crime, if his election is annulled because of that, he can't participate. If his election is annulled because of forgery in respect of his certificates, he can't participate. So that is it. But Abure was talking to party members who are in diaspora, and he reminded them that in case we may need your support, if what APC is planning or what they are working on already, that's the way the court look at it. But he was insisting that that is not what they are asking the court. That they are asking the court to declare Peter Obi the winner of the election. And he said that from the statistics, data they have, they are confident that Peter Obi can be declared the winner of the election. Okay? They didn't say that the court must declare him. No. They said they are confident. Everybody who goes to court must have confidence. Because if you don't have confidence, why go there? So it was not true that the interpretation of Babajide Otitoju to Abure's statement is totally out of it. He said that Otitoju said that the Labour Party national chairman is playing mind game. You know, the kind of mind game that Moriho was playing. I don't see anything like mind game in that in fact, what he was doing was to raise an alarm of a possibility. And so he didn't want his supporters to be taken unawares. So he reminded them that there is a likelihood of that happening. Okay, but that is not what he wants. What he wants is for the court to declare Peter Obi the winner of the election. So there's no ambiguity on that at all. Now, Otitoju accused him of trying to get the court to favor them by that statement. I don't think so. I don't think that was the intention. The intention was basically to alert his members, the supporters of Peter Obi, that there is a possibility that could happen. We don't want to be taken by surprise. So let us have it at the back of our mind that it could get to that. Even though that is not our expectation. Our expectation is for Peter Obi to be declared the winner of the election. That is as clear as any simple English can be. And here, Babajide Otitoju said that it was a way to get into the head of the judges. The judges have minds of their own. The judges have minds of their own. Initially, when the video started, you saw where he was lampooning. I think lampooning. He didn't mention him by name, but that was Chief Mike Ozekome, senior advocate of Nigeria, who in a video talk about the fact that that there was showers of rain after their presentation of their case, after the closure of the case, and that it's a sign of blessing for Atiku Abubakar. I've watched that video. Okay, it wasn't Peter Obi's lawyers that said that, but even at that, he didn't categorically say because that rain fell that they are going to win in the courts. That's not how he said that. It's a shower, that showers of rain are signs of blessing. But Babajide twisted it, sort of trying to make it appear as if the man said that because of that they are going to win the case. That's not the issue. So as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing that Abure said that shows that he wants to preempt the outcome of the case. Okay? Because already you don't have to preempt the outcome. In your prayers, you said what you want. Now, one of the things that question was asked, that Babajide Otitoju was asked, was that where is this optimism coming from? Babajide asked, where is this optimism of Abure? I think the optimism of Abure is coming from what they presented in the courts. They believe that they presented strong evidence to prove their case. That is where their confidence are coming from. And because if you look at the evidence they have presented, they were able to present evidence that there were no glitches on the election. Now it depends on the justices accepting that. They were able to prove that present a case that there were no glitches, and when the INEC Deputy Director ICT appeared as a witness, he couldn't convince anybody, that there were glitches. He could not. Because if there were glitches, he couldn't even present evidence that they reported the matter to Amazon Web Services. Because if Amazon Web Services was hired to protect the server of INEC, and there was glitches, there was problem, there was attack. Don't forget, even Pantami, former minister of digital economy, said there were millions of cyber attacks against INEC that day. Former minister Lai Mohammed also said that there were attacks, cyber attacks. That was the reason why they have to put a halt to the transmission of the presidential election results. But surprisingly, when the INEC people came to court, it didn't follow the line of Lai Mohammed. So he was not able to convince anybody. So that's a strong case that he could be able to nullify the election. Okay? So that's a strong evidence of manipulation, which they can use against Aswaju's election. Then there's the issue of the forfeiture. The forfeiture in the Supreme Court ruling between Abacha and the federal government in 2014, the forfeiture was defined by the Supreme Court as evidence or proof of committing a crime. Because if you don't commit a crime, you cannot forfeit the product or benefit of that crime. Now, that is enough to disqualify Tinubu in terms of Section 137 2B, which itemizes. You can go and read the whole of Section 137 of the 1999 Constitution, which gives ground for the disqualification of a presidential candidate. There is also the burning issue of Aswad not getting 25% in Abuja. So they have watertight case. And there is also the evidence that was presented by a star witness, a professor of mathematics and data analyst, who was able to show that there were 18,088 blood resource sheets that was used in declaring Aswad Bola Tinubu winner of the election. Now, the man has done his calculation and found out that within that blood resource sheets, which nobody could read, the total results, the total figure that will emanate from it is about 2.5 million. Now, if you remove that 2.5 million from Aswad Bola Tinubu's 8.7 million votes, his number drops to 6.2 million. And I will get to that in where they are saying that, where they were talking about how can somebody who came third manage to come first. Then I will explain it in detail. He said that it will be first in the country, what Abure is saying, if it were to happen, to move from the third position to the first position. Of course, it will be the first. Everything in life has a first. No presidential election has ever been upturned in Kenya before until it was done. In Malawi, it had never happened until it was done. So there will always be the first time. So that is not an issue that anybody should bother himself. Okay? So he said that he has never seen it, that people can argue, may make reference to that of Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, who moved from number 4 position to number 1. He said that it's not likely to see something like that. He said we have never had a situation like that. But it's going to start one day. And Abure and Peter Obi believe that they have established a watertight case that can make that a reality. Okay? They believe that they have a strong case against Tinubu that could make that a reality. Because let's face the fact, before Peter Obi went to court in 2003 and eventually gets justice in 2006, nobody, no governor, no governorship candidate has ever upturned a governorship election in our history. Peter Obi was the first to do it. Today we have many states now where the governorship election were upturned. It was upturned in Edo State in the case of Oshomole. It was upturned in Ekiti State, case of Fayemi. It was upturned in case of Olusegun Mimiko. He was able to remove an incumbent governor through the courts. The lists are beginning to be endless. So it had never happened before until Peter Obi did it in 2006. And today in Nigeria, we have staggered election for governors. Okay, so Nelson Mandela used to say that it seems impossible until it is done. So that is what it is. So it has never been done. It's a factual fact. That's factual. That it cannot be, that it can still happen, is a fact. So let us keep our fingers crossed. He said that it will be really, really surreal for that to happen. Whichever adjective you may use to describe it when it happened, whether it's surreal or whatever, when it happened in Anambra State, perhaps it was surreal that Peter Obi, from a small party, All Progressive Grand Alliance, that was formed just a few months before the 2003 governorship election, yet Obi was able to win. And when he won and his victory was stolen, he went to court and he was able to prove it. And for the first time, the governor of a ruling party, the PDP, by that time PDP was a behemoth. It was like the Roman Empire. You have to belong there to survive. But Peter Obi was not in. The PDP was like the Roman Empire. You have to be part of it if you want to have any advantage. Yet Peter Obi, from little known Abga, was able to defeat PDP both in the polls and in the Supreme Court. So there's always a first time to do all this. So it shouldn't surprise him. And he went ahead to talk about that the court that they should allow the court. I don't think that anything that Abure said there had anything to interfere with the courts. So that's it on that ground. And one of the things they asked in that program was that how can Peter Obi move from third position to first position? Now I have said this before, but let me repeat again for those who have never watched where I said it before. Peter Obi, as I said earlier, at the tribunal, he was able to bring a professor of mathematics who was able to discover that Tinubu was illegally allocated 2.5 million votes out of the 8.7 million votes that they used in declaring him. 2.5 million votes were padded or was allegedly illegally allocated to him. And this man got this figure by looking at the blood results with which they use in giving him the figures. Okay, blood result is, and he said that those blood results, which is about 18,088 copies, result sheets, could have contained about 2.5 million votes. Now, if you remove that 2.5 million votes from Tinubu's 8.7, his number dropped to 6.2. Now, Tinubu, if you look at the analysis, the anchor was talking about that all of them have 12 states. Okay? But Peter Obi has 11 states plus FCT because the anchor tried to make Abuja as if it's counting it as a state. No, Abuja is separate. That's why in section 134, subsection 2B, the Constitution talk about 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Okay, now I'm sure that Babajide Otitoju is aware that Peter Obi has been discovered to have won Rivers State. Independent calculation by Premium Times and the BBC has shown that Peter Obi won Rivers State. Now, if you remove Rivers State from Tinubu's number of states that he won, his number will drop to 11. Now, Peter Obi is in court and has presented evidence that he won Benue, which was allocated to Tinubu. Now, if the court found it okay that Peter Obi was right, or that Peter Obi is right in his calculation, okay, that he won Benue State and not Tinubu, Peter Obi's number will move from 11 states and Federal Capital Territory, which the anchor was calculating as 12, to 13 states plus Federal Capital Territory Abuja, meaning that Peter Obi has more states than any of the three presidential candidates. Now, you know that this thing will require a retabulation of Tinubu's result, because when you prove that Peter Obi won Rivers, it means that the votes that they allocated to Tinubu for his victory in Rivers was fake. So those votes will be cut off and the proper votes will be tabulated and given to Peter Obi. The same thing will happen in Benue. Now, Peter Obi is also challenging results in 21 states, including Lagos State, where Peter Obi and Labour Party believe that the gap they gave Tinubu in Lagos in defeating him was huge. That Tinubu self did not get up to 25% of the vote cast in Lagos. So if you retabulate all these things, Tinubu will drop down to third position. So if they are asking for how can somebody who comes second, who came third, be taken of getting to the fourth, it's a mathematical simplicity that could be done, as I have explained to you now. So the idea of as if it is rocket science, how Peter Obi will move from number 3 to number 1 is as simple as that. Recalculate Rivers State result, give Tinubu his real result in Rivers State, give him his real result in Lagos, give him his real result in Benue, give him his real result in Plateau, and all that. So you find out that Tinubu's number will begin to drop. So it's as simple as that. So those of them who are the journalists hangout who are wondering, or those who watch it, who are wondering how Peter is going to do it, or Labour is going to do, I have explained it. It's as simple as that. You can go and study the calculation, retabulation of the results that was done by Premium Times and the BBC, and you see that what I'm telling you is the fact. Okay, so the idea that they are the ones playing mind game by saying how could Peter Obi be able to do it? I have explained to you how he will do it. By the time they finish everything, Tinubu's number of states will drop down to 10 states, and his figures will drop down, because that 18,088 blank result that they use in giving him 2.5 million votes will be subtracted from 8.7 million. If they really, so you see the process that it's going to take. Then I think it was Tunde Abatan that was saying that what Labour Party is asking, so it means that they are asking for the annulment of the election, that the whole election will be annulled. It's not true. That's not what Peter Obi is asking for. He said that then they mean that Labour Party will lose all the senatorial ticket seats he had won, House of Reps seats he had won. No, that's not what Labour Party is asking for. In one of their prayers was, in case didn't declare Peter Obi the winner, that that the presidential election should be cancelled for not meeting the standard for which transparent election could be conducted, as laid down by INEC itself, the Electoral Act and the Constitution. They are not calling what they are looking for. If the presidential election is cancelled, it's not the senatorial election and House of Reps. On the day of senatorial election went smoothly all over the country. They transmitted the results through the beavers to the IRIF, senatorial House of Reps. It was the one that they really want to win, the most important of all the elections, the most important of all the elections of that day. In fact, in the whole electoral process, is the one that couldn't be uploaded. And I think this matter came up. There was a time that Peter Obi received Ireti Kingibe, the Labour Party senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And people were saying, "Oh, so why is Peter Obi congratulating Ireti Kingibe when he's condemning the election that the election was rigged?" Peter Obi made a clear statement on it. He said, "Look, the senatorial election and all House of Reps, those are not the issue. Those ones went smoothly, at least to the level they did. It is the presidential election. So I don't see the reason why annulling presidential election should affect the results of House of Reps and the Senate that Tunde Abatan is talking about." I was shocked that a senior journalist couldn't understand that simple something that's so simple to understand. Canceling a presidential election can be cancelled. It doesn't mean that they are going to cancel all the senatorial and House of Reps. No. It was the presidential election that if it is going to be cancelled. And in any case, cancellation of the election was not the major. It was part of the alternative prayers of Peter Obi, because the main prayer of Peter Obi and the Labour Party was that Peter Obi should be declared the winner of the election, that he met all the requirements to be declared the winner of the election. So that is as clear as that. So I think Tunde Abatan should understand this very clearly. Annulling the governorship, the presidential election doesn't mean they have to annul the National Assembly election. They are not the same thing. National Assembly election was transmitted from beavers, from the polling units to the INEC IRIF. It moves with the bone of contention was the alleged deliberate creation of glitches to stop the transmission of the results of the presidential election, which many alleged was what gave opportunity for the manipulation of the presidential result. And you can see the report of the European Union Observer Mission and see the percentage. They said they can't understand how INEC calculated the kind of tabulation they did to be able to generate who wins in the election. It's not verifiable. An independent verifier cannot verify it. And that was why the federal government was mad in their own countering of the European Union report. So it is very clear that cancelling the election, presidential election, has no business affecting the National Assembly election. So the National Assembly results don't need to be cancelled. No other election deserves to be cancelled except that presidential. That's what they are praying. And in any case, what Labour Party and Peter Obi are asking for is for Peter Obi to be declared the winner of the election. Okay, and I hope I have been able to show you that how Peter Obi can move from number 3 to number 1. I hope that perhaps if any of them sees this video, Otitoju and Abatan, they will know that it's not rocket science how Peter Obi could be able to move from number 3 to number 2 to number 1. Okay, and be declared the winner of the election. It is doable. It's not rocket science. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.